Welcome everyone to Center of Light. We're sure gonna need some clarity. It's good to see you tonight. Let me add some music. Time to get real clear. Real clear. We have been doing it. Can't take that away from ourselves. But we must go deeper into the fire. I had a dream experience last night. When I say dream experience, it's a way to describe that my body was resting on the bed. It wasn't a dream. It was an experience. How do I know that? Because I was present. What's up, Bob? Brother Bob. Everyone, let me see what's happening. Let me refresh some of these pages here. Facebook is going to populate soon. Hello, everyone on YouNow. Good to see you. Welcome, everyone. Tonight is Center of Light. Yes. I'll tell you what the yes is about it shortly.
Access granted.
Everyone has access. Everyone has access. Center of Light, yes. Yes. Just yes. Are you sure it's not no? Is there a no in there somewhere? Well, yes, there is, because no, there is not. Hello, Ted. Center of Light, yes. Always yes. I'm a yes man. Have you ever seen that movie, Yes Man, with Jim Carrey? It's fantastic. Yes. Well, is there a no in there? No. Heaven on earth. What is that worth? It's worth a lot. In fact, heaven on earth is why at least I'm here. In fact, it's my entire body of work, if you will. I like higher experiences. I love talking about ascended masters. I love this, that, and the other of it. My work is true, all of it. No matter what the work subject is, it's all about the unification of all people. And we ascend to another level of being. What other way is there to seeing it? There is no other way. Well, there is. It's not going to be serving you or deserving for you. You deserve a lot more. What is heaven on earth? Is it simply the lions laying down with the lambs? Is it that? Could be, because heaven on earth is all possibility. That's why you're here. You can't deny that. Because you came from God. Let's use some simple analogies. You came from God. Where's God? In heaven. Where did you come down to? Earth. So heaven came down to earth. Well, if that's true, Keith, what's the frickin' problem? Thought you'd never ask. Fantastic question. So if I came from heaven and I'm down to earth, you know the saying, the expression, that person's down to earth. But you came from heaven, now you're down to earth. And if someone describes you as being a down to earth person, that means you're actually already ascending, because they're saying you're awesome. So what is the problem? Again, I thought you'd never ask. Again, what is the problem? Hello, Dana. Hello, Summer Fusion. Bob, Ted, everyone. So what is the problem? If we came from heaven and we're now on earth, heaven on earth, the Christ principle, Jesus laid it out, plain and simple. He exposed his core. He opened up his arms and exposed his core and showed us exactly where it's at. Heaven comes down to earth. Heaven on earth. And look where they intersect. Those two planes, they intersect right there in the heart. Heaven on earth. So what is the problem? Hello, Vicky. The problem is, We always talk about the monkey in the mind. It's not that I don't think you understand. Some of these lessons, as blessings, need to be pressed home a little harder. Not to violate, impinge, infringe, or abuse, because we need a push. We're hard-headed. We are a hard-headed species and very arrogant. and equally misinformed and ignorant because we were misinformed. We can't go out there blaming and gaming and shaming others. I still do it because it gives me some sense of satisfaction. But once I express myself, I'm done with it. So I play the game. I'm human. So I play human. And I burn out the energy so I can move into the realm of the divine. I get the feeling my brother Bob posted something that I want to read. I don't know what. There it is. The ancient ones are with us here. The ancient ones give rise to the fact that we are here. Not only linearly or descendantsly or lineagely, but the ancient ones are why we're actually to sit here in this moment. They're holding all this heaven and earth potential together. And together, we are here holding all of this together. I am going to be here probably, I love what I do, why would I ever want to leave? About 2 hours. And those 2 hours are going to flee from me while I sit in the cave of Samadhi, being in no time, no space, no jacking around, but full of grace with you. We're always overdue to be together. Heaven and earth. Lions laying down with the lambs. Well, that's true. And even if it isn't, it is the most delicious picture being painted of the war, the battle within. That which inside wants to roar and smash and squash and eat everything alive. And then you got the tender, delicate, innocent lamb that simply just wants to play and be left alone to do just that. So there's a unity, a fusion, believe it or not, confusion, a confusion, a co-fusion of two things coming together into a trinity. And the Holy Spirit says, how you doing? Tell your mama and them hello. It's truly about a fusing together of belief and disbelief, absolute ignorance and infinite knowing. And it's not either one. Well, Keith, I like the infinite knowing idea better. It's not that either. If you're choosing that, that's fantastic. You've leveled up, you've ratcheted up. That's fantastic. Well, there is another level. So what is that level? None of them are true. Now what do I do? Is realize that you are the truth. If you are the truth, everything else is simply Leela, a dance, a story, a play, a relationship with the divine. It's simply an amusement park. If you ratcheted up, leveled up, and got to the place of, I'm in the positive swing of the universal current, freaking fantastic. I want to give you another boost by offering this again. You doing the work, the play. Fun, isn't it? There's another level, many more, but let's just only take the bite of the apple or as many crackers into our mouth that we can actually swallow, assimilate, digest, and implement. The next level is there is no duality. There is no disbelief, nor is there belief, nor is there ignorance or absolute knowing. Because from our perspective, absolute knowing, we can't even touch the garment of it. But that we are moving in that direction is enough. And the next level is, I don't choose this one and I don't choose that one. Because I am the one that's perceiving in the first place that there is a this one or a that one, when the absolute one lives inside of me as not only as the creator and the created, but as a doer. Heaven on earth is not going to look like what you think it looks like if we are looking outside into the physical, external, temporal world. It is a beautiful sounding board and reflection and reminder of where we are. What is the reminder of where we are? It never changes. What is constant? Hello, David. What is constantly reminding us of where we are? What is the constant reminder of the outside world? What is it trying to tell us? It's always, come here, baby. My name is Karma, and I'm going to give you a kiss on your face. And I tell you, if you believe me, it's called grace. The outside world is always about karma. The inside world is about purpose, God, ever expansion, dharma. I'm here because I'm on a mission to serve. And I will not swerve when I take this curve. What is coming down the pike this year is a beautiful thing, I tell you. Tonight is Center of Light. Yes, please, just give me some more. Yes. Heaven on earth. When we take care of our own personal heaven on earth, instead of worrying about the others, heaven on earth. You see, when we worry about the others, heaven on earth, the collective, I get it. I'm into some collective, and I'm here to collect. I am the tax man, yeah! I'm here to collect when I am due. But you see, when we focus on the outside and try to create heaven on earth, which we all do, that's what my work is about. It's not guaranteed. Until we guarantee our own heaven on earth personally, individually, at least ours is guaranteed, set in stone. And guess what? Because all that you experience is your own heaven on earth, whether they're experiencing it or not. Truly, actually, it's not selfish, it's not hateful, it's truly the way. Because if you are living your heaven on earth, then everything in you sees everything as absolutely beautiful. So how does it affect those others that I've actually somewhat ignored? Because we are all one. The reality, the world, the universe that you're living in is yours. You are the God of your universe. So you changing your heaven on earth perspective and practice, when you unify and become that, there is nothing else. You see, because when we graduate to the higher planes, all the way to the level of God itself, God does not sit on his throne and say, there's everything, but I'm here and everything else is not me. It, God, he, she, sees it all as, I love who I am. I love me. I'm God of my universe. And the God of the universe is no different than you as the God of yours. We're just subfolders and smaller fragments of as above, so below, on forever it will go. It's never been hard. So I'm going to go to commercial break. I want to say thank you, everyone, for always being here. You now, YouTube and Facebook. I'm going to go into support mode. Support mode meaning Robert Harrison gave his heart openly and freely to Center of Light with a bunch of very well thought out, beautiful gifts as donations to Center of Light. I got some of the bling bling, y'all. It's one of the perks. But I'm offering these instead of you just donating to Center of Light via Robert's love and appreciation and wanting to be a part of something, not me, but a mission, an idea, something that saves the world. It's not a person. It can be, because you are it, but when we get out of it, we realize there's only one purpose, Dharma. Robert, thank you. Let's go into this break. I'm going to be right back. This is Merch to Perch. Little do you realize, see inside, see the light and more. Welcome back to Center of Light. With the incense burner, the lotus flower incense burner, and it spins. It's really cool. Along with it comes a box of Sai Baba Nag Chapa Agarbatti incense. Really cool. Oh my God, just smelling it shifts my experience. You can send your, yes, Keith, I'm interested in a whatever that call to you. In this forum, I check my forums daily. You can send me a Facebook inbox or KeithAnthonyBlanchard@gmail.com. Tonight is Center of Light. Yes. Yes, man. Check out the movie with Jim Carrey. Yes, man. Yes. Last night, yes, I had a visit from a higher level entity. I went through a lot of crap to get to that higher level entity. It wasn't by choice. I just find myself soaring through nonsense, beautiful nonsense. Beautiful nonsense makes beautiful souls. Because we understand we're no longer identified with said ugly nonsense, and then we shift, and then it becomes very beautiful because it became a teacher. Last night I had a visit. I had to go through lots of stuff. It was not like I was trying to muster my way through the stuff. I was just flying through it. And on the other side of it, there was a high-level entity. That's the only way I can describe it. It was an absolute presence of light. And it said, does your world want heaven on earth? And I said, yes. Do you want, personally, Keith, heaven on earth? And I said, yes. And then it said, that's the answer. Hurricanes that hit my hometown. Do you want that? Yes. Play it out with me. Do you want this? Coronavirus, shots, if that's what you do. But the point is, do you want that? Whether you do it or not, the answer is yes. If you want abuse from the political system, those in the seat of power, do you want that? Yes. And I can keep the list going. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? It's exactly what it is. Because normal is redonkulous. So what's the purpose of this ongoing yes to all these bad things? Like we talked about earlier, there are no bad things. There's only lesson or blessing. So the energy, the entity, the spirit, it wasn't an entity. It was a presence of absolute higher level awareness. And it said the reason for this ongoing yes is not because you're accepting or allowing and paying reverence to bullshit. That's not what it is. Because the difference between reflecting on the past and dwelling on the past is completely two different things. Dwelling is unconsciousness. Reflecting is consciousness. Huge difference. So when in said situations, that could be, and trust me when I tell you, they are coming. The reason you say yes, even though my father took a very hard hit to the right side of his house, almost the entire right side of his house blew out for the hurricane. So why would I ever want to say yes to that? That's not what I'm saying yes to. Everyone has their dharma or their karma. My point is, saying yes to the things that can be and are coming is, I am solid. I'm anchored as a heavenly entity on this earth. I came from heaven, I came from God, and I'm on this earth. I may have lost that along the way through the years. Blood, sweat, and years. Blood, sweat, and tears. I hear in the call. So you re-anchor yourself again. The yes point of it all is, you ever saw Bruce Lee when he's about to fight someone? He goes, Neo in the Matrix sort of idea, which is, it's not about being cocky. It's about being rocky and locky in. In other words, I am straight. I wobble, but I'm straight. And in such a posture, there is a non-having to do. Be ready. Do you want what's coming? Yes, I want it. People will leave your life. They will die. And they will move to other places and they will die. You may die. I may die. There's a larger story at work. And those who choose to get on the train have a greater possibility of riding the train, or the wave if you're a surfer, the crest as long as you can, and then you'll hang ten for as long as you need to. I'm ready. So why would we want calamities, this, that, and the other to come? It's not necessarily that we want it. It's about righting yourself and putting yourself in such a disposition, in such a way that come this may, it will come. It has to come. It's going to come. It's supposed to come. You want it to come. Why would I want it to come? Because you do. Because heaven and earth is not already established. So it requires all of this stuff that we must establish ourselves in to move through. And what is due is the fullest expression of you. You want it to come. So the answer is yes. Whatever it takes, basically, is the model. Whatever it takes, bring it. I'm ready. You see, for many, however long, hundreds, thousands, at least two, longer. Women longing for something, stronging for something, ping-ponging for something, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's all part of the beautiful evolution of God through the human species. Not the human feces. We went through the feces. We went through all the crap. We're tired of the crap. Now it's time to go from holy shit to holy fire. So this energy, spiritual energy, high-level spiritual energy, came to me last night and says, if you want heaven and earth, worry about your own. And therefore, every filter or the perception you have, you will simply see it. In fact, there will be no more filters. And if there are no more filters, well, what about the other people? There are no other people at the level you are vibrating and operating on. Well, Keith, that sounds like I'm creating such an amazing separation and leaving the people I care about. The people you care about is you. And when you do, the people you care about, which is an extension of your now new conscious self, are lifted as well. How do you know that for sure? Because you see them right next to you and their beautiful perfection of living their life however it is, however long it takes. There's no more fixing. I'm going to read you an excerpt from my most recent bestseller, Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. The link is in these forums, so you can jump seat to Amazon to purchase this. And while you're there, please leave me a review or come back and leave me a review after you read the work. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to read you an excerpt from that, and then I'm going to move in what I was guided to from my experience this morning. Many of you, some of you, depending on who you are, whether you're return, we're all returning. Whether you come into this presentation in the future, I'm going to play a movie that I created about 7 years ago, 6, whatever years ago. I woke up in the morning. I'm not a movie guy. I love graphics. Keith, make a movie. Make a movie. So it took me about a month and a half. Though I played it before, there was a presence that says, and I even questioned, why do I need to play it again? Most of my audience already seen that. It says, if you're thinking that this is how it works, you are sadly mistaken. It somewhat works like that, but it's more of the act that when any of us open up, whether we think we're doing it or not, whether we are conscious of it or not, in a beautiful, delicious, powerful space, we are adding quotients of light to the field. You see a grandchild you haven't seen, and that first that feeling that you get when we're here, and you see a grandchild, that explosion of light, quotients of light are added to the field. So I love what I do, I'm adding to the field. You love what you do, you're adding to the field. One of my loves that lasts about 45 minutes, which I'm going to play here shortly, adds 45 minutes of my heart to the field. And your heart given to the field in the excuse of this movie called "And the Meek Shall Inherit the Earth," the prophecy realized. Lots of people, not only me, this ain't about me, everyone has contributed to this. At the end, you know what, something told me tonight when I was using the bathroom, make sure you let the movie run through the end of it, through all the credits. I dodged around some of the copyrights, but I did give them credit. So, credit will be given where it's due. From Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, small snippage. Also, the higher level being said, do you want heaven on earth, Keith, for the world? I said, yes. Do you want heaven on earth for yourself, Keith? I said, yes. He said, well, there's your answer. And I said, what do you mean? No matter what comes your way, say yes. Openly receive it. Stand in your power. That is the reason for the yes. Because this second, this minute, this hour, there's no more guess about it. I am offering myself and handing it to you as I lovingly lay in the lap, in the bosom of my divine parent, as I am offering that you help me get there yourself. He said to me, when I asked the question, are we going to make the ascension? He said, don't worry about that. Just stay focused. Worry about yourself. Stay focused. Spirit continues or starts in Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. Keith, it is not enough to see. You must look from Scripture. And ye shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all of your heart. Jeremiah 29:13-14. Spirit continues, addresses all of us. To all my children, for the world tonight is center of light. Yes. Yes. Just yes. Center of light, yes. Heaven on earth. To all my children, for the world to attain heaven on earth, things cannot be as they are now. That's why we say yes. It will take all nationalities coming together to achieve the goal of love, peace, and unity. Trust that I will guide you in whatever you do. Just remember to breathe. Yes. Just remember to breathe and do your very best to live in love, give in love, be in love, and love you shall receive. It is time to embrace yourselves. Embrace all of humanity and embrace the earth. Do this and you embrace God. Join me. What's up, Andrea? I'm now going to move into the movie I made a few years ago. And the meek shall inherit the earth, the prophecy realized. And I do want to announce, she will, but she won't. Andrea Forrest, she contributed to this movie with, I actually took it, and then I got a bug on my head. I actually took it thinking that I contacted her and asked her permission. She said, no, you didn't. But she's so beautiful, she supported. And I'll tell you where that's at. After about 5-6 minutes into this movie, You're going to see it's going to go into crop circles, aliens in the sky, and the music. This is from Andrea. Check it out. Andrea, please feel free to drop your band site, whatever that's called. I forgot, it's been so long, into this forum. She's laughing. I love it. I did a horrible job. I need to quit. And the meek shall inherit the earth. The prophecy revealed. I'll see you in about 45 minutes. Andrea, you're welcome. You, as well as everyone. You are all loves of my life. She called me a jerk. I'll see you shortly. We're living in the most amazing transformational time in history. Never has there been such an opportunity for humankind to ascend from the pit of its animalistic tendencies to the apex of its original nature as children of the Most High God. As a young boy, I had an insatiable appetite, an unquenchable curiosity about God, the universe, and my sole purpose for being on the earth. And it's been a lifelong pursuit to curb my hunger for answers to the four simple, basic questions that were gnawing at me. Throughout all of my soul searching, I am confident that I've come to the point the answers I've found are solid, balanced, and are in alignment with the highest good. You came from the ocean of divine energy, the universe, the stars. Humankind are the seeds of a loving creator planted on the earth. Our celestial nature and free will allows us to germinate, grow, sprout, and bloom until the season when we are able to unfold unto our highest order. I was told over and over in my daily meditations that there are two reasons for our birth on planet Earth. One is to live the best life possible. The other is to resolve any residual energy from a previous time. What will help the human race out of its self-induced karma, disillusionment, and trouble is to live a life filled with passion. The kind of passion that comes from one seeing their own worth, beauty, importance, and purpose. This is what will allow one to see the same light in others. If God is love, then it should make sense that when you do what you love, the river of life moves through you and puts you on a course to the bridge between heaven and earth. If we came from God and will one day consciously return, who are we now? If God is the beginning and the end, and we are in the middle of all that, who are we? If God is omnipresent, present in all places at all times, who are we? Point to yourself. Point to God. Can you see the connection? At our essence, this is the truth of who we are. I am aware that this kind of talk may cause some people to run away as fast as they can in fear. That is because they do not understand the laws of spirit nor the laws of physics. I am also aware that it can sometimes be tough to see your own greatness, but believe me, you are more than you even realize. Your passionate, sincere search for your own answers is what will bring you to this realization. What helped me to reach my epiphany was understanding the simple idea that God is the energy which connects everything together, and if we were separate from that, we could not exist. The choices are infinite, but if you ever want to get where you are truly desiring to go, you must first know where you come from, why you are here, and who you are. Only then will you be prepared to get where you are going. Living in a world with 7+ billion people, the human race has become mathematical masters in the art of division, subtraction, adding, and multiplying. A great and terrible problem has arisen and will continue to bear down on humanity if its collective consciousness continues to divide by class, race, religion, sex, sexual preference, and country. The social order of the world, in its view, has been a deadly poison, and if not purged from the collective body, will continue to weaken the infrastructure until humankind's existence collapses. Living in the illusion of them and they has no benefit whatsoever. The idea of being divided by nature is not based in spiritual truth, reality, nor scientific fact. In spirituality, the place where all things connect and originate is called God. Scientifically, it's called the unified field. Using the term unified, or unity rather, is evidence that even the scientific-minded understand the reality of an absolute oneness. Living with the mindset of mine or me, this belongs to me, or I wish I had more of that, is what creates a situation of lack. Jealousy of what others possess in the physical can only bring about more of the unwanted. It is equal to saying that if I can't have what I want, neither should they. This is the perfect recipe for endless failure of ever achieving abundance for the rest of one's life. There is no need to take away anything from anyone when God, or the unified field, is an infinite repository of all that exists and will exist forever. People who fill their lives with drama are constantly adding problems to themselves and the rest of mankind. For if one is infected with hate, anger, jealousy, and other useless nonsense, eventually, such erroneous ways of being begin to become a part of the world's collective drama. How is this so? Because, as explained a moment ago, we are not divided by class, race, religion, sex, sexual preference, and country. We are one race expressing itself in many different forms. One will always affect the whole, same as the whole will always affect the one. Like rabbits on an assembly line, Humans have been produced, pushed out into the world like the hottest new item on the market. Too many have not been taking responsibility for what can happen through the act of intercourse. One should take the inner course to find fulfillment instead of leaning on a system to satisfy one's earthly drive or needs. Division, subtraction, and multiplying. It doesn't add up to anything that is the common denominator among high-level civilizations throughout the universe.
It's a world whose heart cannot be broken.
It is common knowledge that when astronomers and other scientists look into deep space to study cosmic occurrences, they are witnessing the light from events that actually took place long ago. All their high-tech equipment might help prove some of their theories, but without inner vision, these experts will stay unaware of what is presently taking place throughout the universe. As long as they remain in a spiritually myopic state, they will not be able to harness the power that true cosmic knowledge can bring. On the other hand, spiritualists understand that light is the product of a pure, enlightened consciousness, and so they dedicate their lives to achieving just that. The more they develop themselves and begin to consciously connect to the omnipresent spirit, the more they are able to witness the grandeur of the universe here and now. In truth, light is everywhere at all times, or no time, should I say. Just like a hologram, the whole is inherent in every fragment of light throughout the entire cosmos. You might say that God cosmosis is taking place everywhere. Relativity. Definition. The quality or state of being relative, something that is relative. The state of being dependent for existence on, determined in nature, value, or quality by relation to something else. Theory of the relative, rather than the absolute. The interdependence of matter, time, and space, as developed by Albert Einstein in two separate theories. The theory includes the statement that motion is relative, not absolute. The velocity of light is constant. The mass of a body in motion varies with velocity. Space and time are interdependent and form a four-dimensional continuum. One of the greatest minds in all of history belonged to Albert Einstein. His mission when he was on Earth was to present his theory of relativity to the world, a theory that prepares you for an even greater truth to come. Since that day is here, I shall give you a new formula, an updated one that takes into consideration the shifting and reshifting that has taken place since his original one was proffered. Einstein's formula said that nothing can go faster than the speed of light. The theory of relativity. E equals mc squared, where E equals energy, m equals mass, c equals light. The new formula says that there is something faster than light, and that something is thought. The difference between these two theories? One states that slowly but surely linear time is depleting. The theory of reality, where E equals energy, lifting, m equals mass, manifesting energy, c equals light, omnipresent with no velocity. E equals mc pi over relativity pi over 4. The pi over relativity correlates to the quickening that is now taking place. Relativity correlates directly to people. All the relative personified spirits who use the primal force of thought to create and define reality, whether it be with clarity, knowing, and intention, or with confusion, belief, opinions, and judgment. The pi over 4 represents the no time factor that diminishes the space between your thoughts and the manifestation of reality, the window between what you think and what happens. The number 4 in this case is the numerical symbol that signifies the power of the whole that will move within you and permeate your emotional body as intense feeling, thus guaranteeing the manifestation of the self. Thought definition: the act or process of thinking, reflection, meditation. The power of reasoning, intellect, imagination. Through physics, Einstein's theory of relativity revealed to the world its linear to vertical thought speed capacity. Now, as people become more aware that they are one, that very capacity will change exponentially. Let's talk a little more about math and how it's useful, its intended purpose, and its progression. Before someone is exposed to math's principles, their thought process proceeds more or less on a linear level. Once they learn its basic applications, more advanced modalities of vertical thought begin to emerge. Their mental capacity increases as they master algebra, geometry, trigonometry, and calculus. If they go on to study physics, quantum physics, and metaphysics, they come to understand much more about the universe and how it functions. But neither math's formulas nor its numbers are really that important. Math's real value lies in the expansion it brings to the minds of those who master it. Math offers a way for people to comprehend something higher than themselves. Still using basic math, let us look at the foundation a child operates from. The number 1 is the very first concept a child learns. The child discovers who he or she is as one and interacts with the world using that awareness. Yes, children understand the universal primordial number before math ever comes into play, because it is the very nature of the universe to operate from this premise. 0, definition: nothing, figure 0. Point on a graduated instrument from which positive and negative quantities are reckoned. Now for the concept of 0. Among 0's many divine attributes are wholeness, balance, completion, union, and, last but not least, eternity. 0 is the highest idea there is, but it is not user-friendly, for it requires you to fully comprehend the idea of nothing or no thing, God. Notice I said idea, because 0 is just that, not a number, but a concept. And until a system is in place that enables the collective mind to expand into whole thought, understanding the divine will remain a challenge. As with 0, the number 1 is a formidable number to realize. If you do not understand the concept of 1, trying to comprehend numerical concepts such as millions, billions, and trillions would only be putting the cart before the horse. Just know that if you continue to break everything down into bits, you will always find yourself living in a world of multiplicity and separation. As we look to history, we learn of people who are now deemed to be great, but who were regarded as quacks, crazies, and troublemakers by the contemporaries during their time on Earth. Is it not ironic how these prodigies were only accepted after their lifetimes. Just about everything of value we use in our modern world was gifted to us by these so-called weirdos: Jesus, Franklin, Tesla, Einstein, and others. Not only were these geniuses divinely inspired, but they understood the 0-1 principle, so they were able to make their great discoveries and thus better humanity. Albert Einstein said, "The most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or a hostile universe." What is your answer? For myself, I live in a friendly one. Everywhere I go, I see beautiful people yearning for the same peace I have found, and for the rest of my life, I will continue to dive deep within myself for greater degrees of it. My home is in Memphis, Tennessee. Here it is believed by many to be a place filled with hate and racial tension. I don't see it. Is it because I am not plugging into the illusion that many are? The evidence of violence that can be found not only here where I live, but anywhere in the world for that matter, says that many haven't been making choices from the 0-1 principle of God or the unified field. These types of people are living in a disconnected reality, the reality of me, mine, them, and they. If you look at the cliche of me, myself, and I, you might recognize the me in this saying as what you'd think yourself to be: separate, alone, and detached. With this viewpoint, seeking self-gain is automatic. You don't have much choice in the matter, because such an attitude is never about the true you. It is about the ego and what it wants. You must be willing to toss that me of yours into love's purifying fires to ignite the flame of who you really are. You must not continue to let your ego steal from the self that you are in order to appease your mirage self. You must turn your selfishness into selflessness. We all must reverse the formula of me, myself, and I to I, myself, and me. First, see I as the totality of all things. Next, honor the higher self or highest good in everyone. Then accept everyone as they really are, facets of God or the unified field where all things connect and originate. I understand people's concerns surrounding extremist groups causing hateful acts in the world. Groups like ISIS and others from the Middle East have clutched people worldwide in a death grip so tight that they gasp for air every time it becomes a news media event. But let's not be in denial about how other radical groups are contributing to the same harm and problem, all in the name of religion or God. It is undeniable that they share the same mentality. Both have their holy word in one hand, all the while carrying a gun in the other. Can you see the picture being drawn here? If this mirroring view is not realized and continues, as George Santayana stated during his life, those who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it. We must put the illogical mind aside and the guns down. As Pope John Paul II said, the worst of death and horror can never vanquish faith, hope, charity, and simple human decency. We will win with love, not guns. Evil always will devour itself. We all desire peace, but many believe it will come at the cost of others and their beliefs. How would you feel if you were asked to toss what is sacred to you in the trash so that others may feel some liberation. Not so pleasant a feeling, is it? The way is not about the exclusion of this and that, but rather the inclusion of this and that. This in no way implies that we should sit back and do nothing about the radicals from any walk of life who want to invade the peaceful. It means to live a life of openness to what is precious to others, to get out from under the deadly sin of pride that will always bind one's consciousness to ignorance from what others worldwide have to offer through the beauty of diversity. Christ Jesus was a prime example of supreme living during his time upon earth. By living a life of righteousness and peace, he was able to make a powerful impact and a profound difference. Some 2,000 years later, his life is still the standard. He is still the truth, the hope, the light, and the way. His teachings have inspired countless millions to live a pure and love-filled life, thus creating the energy needed for the whole world to shift. Jesus searched for God his entire early life, walking the land believing he was only a messenger. But as an adult, when he visited the Himalayan monasteries, he learned from the masters who lived there to seek God within himself. And he came to the realization that the external world was only a kaleidoscopic picture interpreted by his own mind. His pilgrimage was a great success in that it helped him to realize that he was no longer just a messenger of God, but was now the Son of God. When Jesus stood upon the hill and spoke to the multitude, the young teacher offered great wisdom, but few believed his words. In fact, many shouted, "Are you the Messiah? If you are truly the Messiah, then perform a miracle for us." Because of their doubt and fear, people did not realize that the miracle was already there in the form of Jesus. He was there to inform them about their own freedom, their divine nature, and the fact that, indeed, they were no different from him. Can you see how so many missed their window of opportunity to reach spiritual liberation because they doubted that he was the Christ? Jesus appeared to be an ordinary man like everyone else, but soon enough, no one could deny his extraordinary presence. Once people believed that he was who he said he was, why didn't they follow him then? Because soldiers, using brute force if necessary, were regularly deployed to bring to a halt all the rabble-rousing that seemed to happen wherever he went. But despite all adversity, Jesus pushed on to the very end. When that day came, Jesus accepted his death freely, thus showing those around him how such an event is not the end of life, but only a transition to another level of being, the infinite and immortal change of the Atma, the Spirit. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. Genesis 3:19. In the centuries since Jesus' ascension, most have focused on his death instead of his life and his afterlife. People still seek him on the cross, but he is no longer there. As long as people continue to be bound to that image, they cannot begin to understand the crucifixion metaphor. If you want to be a true follower of Christ, you must take Jesus down from that old rugged cross and move on with your life. Do you not understand that the Lamb was sacrificed then for your liberation now? Let me ask you a question. Does the fact that most in his time doubted that he was the Christed one detract from the truth about the one called Jesus? There are many who already accept this 2,000-year-old truth, but know that the cycle of doubt versus truth is happening yet again. Yes, there are many who have inherited the heirloom of doubt from those who questioned Jesus on the hill. Their misgivings echo now as they did then. If you New Agers think you are messiahs with your I am God view, then perform a miracle for us, they say. I ask you, do you want to be one of those in Jesus' time regarded by future generations as one of history's doubters? Your answers matter not, for no amount of doubt can take away the validity of the Messiahship appearing now to enlighten you about your freedom, power, and oneness with God. Swami, there's a lot of concern about the violence happening in the world. There are so many people dying, and it seems like it's at an accelerated rate. What is the correct way to see this? Is this mean-spirited people doing horrible things, taking the lives of innocent people early? Or is it karma resolving itself from a previous time?
This is a very good question. In today, seeing so much of suffering, violence, war, natural calamities, severe natural calamities like tsunami, earthquake, heavy snowfall, climate change. Every person is worrying and he is thinking about the solution. What is the solution for natural calamities? What is the solution of the violence happening in the world, in every country? In the name of religion, in the name of God, in the name of nation, in the name of this and that, man has become an animal, not animal, a ghost, and doing nuisance and nonsense, and creating the earth a hell. We have to make it a heaven. Lord is thinking, Lord is wanting a gift from us. We are all heirs of the Lord. You asked, what is the main reason for the violence? Think, being educated, being intelligent, the intellectuals, the leaders of the highest countries of the world, they have to think about it. Why these natural calamities are happening? Severe natural calamities. What is the main reason? The main reason for the natural calamities is imbalance among the 5 elements of the earth. Imbalance. And the earth, in the climate of the earth, atmosphere of the earth, 5 elements are there. Soil, water, fire, air, and space. If these 5 elements are in proper ratio, the earth will be in peaceful condition. If there is any imbalance among the 5 elements, one wants to dominate others and it leads to natural calamities. Suppose we want air, breeze, smooth, happy, little air breeze, but not hurricane. We want water to satisfy our thirst. For the crops also, cultivation also, we want water. But we don't want tsunami. If the water in the ocean comes like a tsunami, it will create destruction. So, in the same way, all the 5 elements. So, there is a proper ratio and there is a limit. Why we are polluting the 5 elements? We are polluting. We are polluting the soil. We are polluting the water. We are polluting fire, air, space, everything. So it is the main reason for imbalance. We have to think about it. So even Pope also recently, 1 month before or a few days before, had a commit, world commit, earth commit there. And they are thinking about how to solve the earth from natural calamities. They are thinking, even the religious leaders are also thinking about it. So we should not leave it. We have to think. We should have conferences, international conferences about the climate change, natural calamities, and wars and destruction in the name of God also, religion also. No. Any religion wants to create destruction or war. Only love. To fill our heart with love, our mind with peace, and spread love and peace wherever you go. Then he will be satisfied. He will be satisfied. So in the name of religions, now in so many countries, so many places also, struggle is going on, fights are going on, wars are going on. I don't like this kind of wars or fighting. So love. Love thy neighbor as thyself, Christ proclaimed. We have to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Adi Shankaracharya also declared and proclaimed Ishvara Sarvabhutanam. That is, God is living in everybody, in every atom also. So we have to love each and every one. He did not say only Hindus, only Christians. No, we are calling the people who are following the preaching and teaching of Christ are called Christians. The people who are following the preachings and teachings of Buddha are called Buddhists. Mohammedan Muslims, Islam. So in the same way, all the religions are good. They are not bad. So we have to unite, and with unity we can bring peace to the world. And it is only the solution for your question. Unite, unite, unite. Fill your heart with love and spread love. Fill your mind with peace. Spread peace. Then we can make our mind peaceful, our home peaceful, our city peaceful, our county peaceful, our state peaceful, country peaceful, and the world also peaceful, universe also peaceful. We can make the whole universe peaceful. That is the gift we have to give to our Father, the omnipotent, omnipresent God.
From the choices humanity has been making and is making now, are we going to achieve a heaven on earth existence? And if so, when do you see that actually coming about?
Certainly, if we follow humanity, if we walk on the path of humanity, 100%, we will get peace and we will make the earth abode of the peace. No doubt at all. For every religion also, for every religion, humanity is the best. Take Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ preached humanity. Love, compassion, service, that is humanity. The base should be humanity. Buddha also preached humanity. Humanity and service, love, are the preachings and teachings of all prophets, religious leaders. Not only religious leaders, even the leaders, ethic leaders also. That is, who does not believe the God also, they also believe and follow humanity. Through humanity, no doubt, we are getting peace and we will making the world abode of the peace.
I first learned about the presence of this avatar some years ago. After teaching a spiritual class, a friend of mine came up to me and we began to talk about some pictures that donned the wall. There were pictures of Jesus, Buddha, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, and the like. When we were almost done, I asked my friend who was that in the picture last in the lot. He proceeded to tell me that his name was Sathya Sai Baba and is known to do some pretty miraculous things, like manifest ash out of thin air. I was immediately intrigued. From that point, I began to read every book I could find on the life of this divine man. One night during sleep, I was visited by Baba, asking me to come to India to experience what he had for me. Although Baba's words in this dream were few, the impression spoke volumes. It was a feeling, a knowing, a premonition, a vision. How will I get there? Where will I get the money to be able to go? How do I put all this together? How long should I stay? I asked Baba. Keith, you have to learn to transcend your doubt and disbelief. If you come here just to put your feet on Indian soil only to turn around and go home, this is what you should do, said Baba. I woke up that morning trying to figure out if my experience was meant for me to take literally or not. Back into my head I went. How do I go about making such a journey happen? Where will I get the money to do this? When should I go? How will I get there? Then it dawned on me. If God invited me to come to him, any logic would have no bearing whatsoever, and everything will unfold on its own. All I have to do is be aware of spirit moving and follow the signs that will begin to present themselves. 2 weeks passed as I constantly entertained the possibility that I might go to India and be in the presence of a holy man. Just when I thought my spirits couldn't get any higher, my telephone rang. Hello? I answered. Hi Keith, my name is Debbie. We have a mutual friend by the name of Nadam. He told me that you were planning a trip to India, but was not sure how you were going to get there. So I felt compelled to call you and help you out, she told me. What do you mean? I asked. Keith, I am a flight attendant, and every year I am given buddy passes for my own personal use. But if I don't use them, I can't carry them over into the next semester. I thought you should have one for your trip to see your holy man, she said. I hit the floor. I cried, and cried with such immense joy that I called everyone I could think of to tell them of the miracle that had just taken place in my life. While I was in India to see Sai Baba, I saw more miracles in the 2 weeks I was there than most people will ever see in a lifetime. I was blessed to see and experience the divinity of this little 5'1" man. To see such a sight is to see grace as if gliding on water when he walked. Miracles upon miracles were not only around me, but happening within me. Creating ash, gold statues, and the spontaneous changing of weather, to name a few of the things that took place on the outside of me. But expansion, conscious elevation, in experiencing the universe is what took place, to name a few, within me. But the greatest miracle was to see people from all over the world, England, Iceland, Germany, France, Italy, China, Japan, Sweden, Russia, New Zealand, Australia, South America, South Africa, from every denomination, Hinduism, Judaism, Muslim, Buddhism, Christianity, and in every kind of profession, monks, clerks, priests, scientists, doctors, lawyers, waiters, truck drivers, government officials, housewives, all there to see the master that called them. Sai Baba incarnated before in the late 1800s in Shirdi, India. Then he was known as Sai Baba of Shirdi. His mission was to bring about secular integration between the Muslims and Hindus. He slept one night in a mosque and another in a temple. He wore the cloth of Muslims and ash on his forehead in the Hindu tradition. Baba achieved unity between these two faiths and brought peace to the region. The mission of Sathya Sai Baba, Sathya meaning truth, Sai meaning mother, and Baba, like in the Bible, Abba meaning father, was to help people see that God lives within each and every person. This avatar has bellowed the divine flame in millions of people worldwide. In the very near future, this same divine energy will incarnate again as Prima Psi. Prima meaning love, and again, Psi meaning mother. This will be the final lesson for humankind that will teach not only does God exist in each and every person alone is God. The most powerful and amazing thing that one can have is an open mind, a mind ready to receive truth, no matter how it may show up. Without such readiness, grace will only pass on by and fall into the hearts of those who yearn for it. Your life is not a dress rehearsal. Grab hold of it by opening your mind, your heart, and your life to experience the glory that is your divine birthright. Fret not, let others be in their worry, for it is not your task to dwell on what others may think of you. Your life should always be in the aim of blissfulness. Pray, meditate, and treat all people with respect and kindness, for we are all brothers and sisters of the human race and in the family of oneness, God, or the unified field. May you completely withdraw from all the fighting that happens through racism, separation, and judgment. Spread the light, ease into bliss, for those who do are the meek, and they shall inherit the earth. And the meek shall inherit the earth, the prophecy realized. Yeah, David, the last song, Ask Me Tomorrow, send me a Facebook inbox. I'll send you a link to the full album. I probably won't forget, I'll send it to you tonight. It's a soundtrack by this. Every song on this album, bro, it'll take you to heaven on earth. Yes. Tonight is Center of Light. Yes, heaven on earth. And a lot, in fact, the whole album is, they've taken Sai Baba's voice from giving a discourse to, this is the power it has. To multiples, like 35,000+ people, when he's given this discourse, they take this audio bite of him speaking it into his Kuwant Hall, where God makes an appearance. And they create this beautiful, flighty, atmospheric kind of drone. And it's very liberating. It feels liberating. Tonight is Center of Light. Yes. Yes. Whatever has to come. Yes, bring it. Bruce Lee says. Don't get cocky. Be rocky. Be solid. Stand tall. Be confident that you can invite, so to speak, trouble your way. If that's what needs to happen. Albelita, when you said what you said, dear, my heart caved into my chest. My chest caved into my heart, rather. She said, when I showed the Jesus segment, she said, I would have died for him. It's affecting me now. Your saying that made me realize that I would have done the same. We all would have done the same. So in such a Christed act that he did, in fact, we are as he. He died for us, and you saying that moved me, grooved me. Thank you. What is heaven on earth? What is it worth to you? Well, Keith, I'm so selfless, I want to offer that to everyone else. And none of us, no matter how magical we think we are, can do that until we bring ourselves to that very level. Playing field's even. Even Steven. I'm in it. So how do I lift my brothers and sisters up as well? I can't just leave them behind and think about me. There is no other way. Because everyone in your sphere of acquaintances, when you lift, because you have removed the filter to see that you are not separate from the all, that the all is the all, the small, the tall, they have no choice but to lift, because your experience of the experience is not the same. On some level, people we care about who live in certain unconscious degrees will remain there simply by choice. But you will be living in the garden, the cosmic sandbox of heaven on earth. It still sounds selfish. I can't help that. There's only one being in the universe, and it's selfish and selfless all at the same time. And we can't possibly begin to ever understand that. So it requires the monkey in the mind to stop yammering on, to fall into the fire of unity, the unity of the self. God is omnipresent. It's everything. Now the work requires simply to recognize the everything that God is. That's the biz. There's nothing else. There may be different modalities and principles and religions or structures that we follow, and it's all beautiful. But you will eventually come to the end of the road where there is no more road. But we must be willing to take one step out of 1,000 lifetimes, if that's what it takes. That initial one step is 50% of the journey. The other 50% is to actually step and be conscious of the step. And in so doing, when you become conscious that the road is ended and now you're stepping for the sake of stepping, homecoming, you have crossed the bridge to the soul. You've been on this journey for eons. Why? Because God is bored and God lives in you. And it wants to recognize its beautiful unfoldment and awakening by seeing how you do, how you are doing, and what you can do and what you will do. There is nothing else. Heaven on earth originates. Let there be peace on earth and let Let it begin with me. So, there is a lot of work for all of us collectively to do. But ultimately, you will win, at least when you take care of you. It's always been that way. Let the love of God fall upon you. It's always been that way. Time to celebrate who you are. You are perfect in every way. So now what? That's the divine, delicious question. Now what? Yes, tonight has been center of light. Yes. Yes, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Yes, I'll take whatever bone, biscuit, pile of dog poop, whatever it takes. Yes, there are bones, biscuits, and dog poop piles coming. And the answer should be yes. Why would I want to invite not good things? Because they're coming anyway. In your invitation saying, I'm readying and steadying myself so I can expand beyond the old world that is already dead. It's gone. It's gone. To the new bed that has been laid down by prophecy. We are the living word. We are the living prophecy. Keith, I saw in your forum earlier, you kept posting a few times, it's already done. Well, it is already done. But we have to move forward. If you want to go to California, you got to get on a train to go to California, at least in this human way, because we're not teleport able just yet. So we have to get on a train, the train to Ascensionville. It's done for those who choose to win, because it's done means a future timeline. But for those of us who are not there yet in that future timeline to say it's done, we still have to run towards a destination. So where's that destination? It's nowhere. Huh? It's nowhere. It's here and nowhere at the same time. And when you move inward, deeply, to the level you move inward is to the level you move upward, is to the level you move forward, is to the level you move toward. Heaven on earth for you at your greatest experience you've had thus far to date. Now you know what it looks like. At least you have one heck of a glimpse of it. Recall it, relive it, redo it, re-give it. We keep waiting and we keep waiting and we keep waiting. What are we waiting for? The Savior? I love me some Savior coming. I love me somebody picking me up on a 2-mile walk to the store. Actually, 2 mile back because I got groceries. I want somebody to save me for a mile. I would love that. We deserve that. Remember what I said earlier at the very beginning. When you establish your heaven on earth, it's guaranteed. When you worry about the world, you will often find yourself in a pickle. Plastic, drastic. A very strong vibration is coming. It's deemed, we would deem it as, I don't like this so much. Oh, I hear you. I won't like it either. But I love it. I have to love it because it's grace. I don't have to like it, but when we love it and the push comes to shove it, we shove it back to a beautiful space. COVID has been a savior for many people. When the elevation happens in the positive, the elevation or delevation, if that's such a word, happens in the negative. Point is, they both rise together in an oscillation fashion until there's no more room for the lower vibratory oscillation of the negative to actually exist. The point is, I don't mean the negative rises in elevation, that's not really it, but it becomes more frequent as a reflection or a mirror opposite of the light itself. As much as there is beauty and divine deliciousness coming, and the way that we understand it from this vantage point, there is hell coming. Winter is coming. So now what do? You don't do anything except say yes. Yes. It's for my best good. And it creates a confidence. It creates a strong va backbone, because you've allowed the ya without obstruction and being encumbered with the na. And the backbone is so confident and erect and knows so well within itself, it just says, yes. Yes, Master. Yes. Because if you are an eternal being, which you are, there are going to come some no moments. And as a reflection and an erection into something greater always, God is infinite. None of us can ever reach the end of infinite possibility. It constantly turns, churns, burns, and yearns within itself to spit its star guts out to infinity. In every direction, from its nucleic, atomic, subatomic, quark, beyond we can even understand, core, it explodes everything into infinity, into its grandiose, all the way down to the infinity of its microcosmic self. I better get out of here before I explode. I love you. The load is light. There is no load. That's the road. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It may happen tomorrow. It's going to happen today. Because if it happens tomorrow, then tomorrow will be your day. It can happen now. There's nothing else. You are going to die. Physically, you're going to just simply disappear. Make plans. Save up. Save up. Save yourself up. So now that you know you're going to leave this world on purpose consciously, so that your transition will be smooth, and you will realize the heaven we are seeking is the one that we are leaving behind. So in the seeking of it and the leaving behind of it, it creates a bridge that's called crossing the bridge to the soul. As David says, it is. Peace, love, and may the cosmic 2x4 smack all of us on our hiney, get us nice and shiny, because we have said yes. God bless.